The WWE Draft took place last night, and the internet, of course, reacted in usual fashion, went in an uproar. There was plenty of stuff to talk about when it came to it, and we actually had our wrestling correspondent, Josh, send over a quotation to kind of give us some more context as to what went on. So this is via our wrestling correspondent, Josh.
All right, so we asked Josh why the WWE Draft was taking place and as to some background onto why, when, what is going on, right? Because we're happily can admit to both of you guys that we're not WWE experts. But we do have a WWE correspondent to give us a little bit more information in regards to the matter. So WWE announced that the brand split a few months back that was equal parts marketing scheme and a way to drag SmackDown ratings from the gutter to the street. WWE has been flush with talent coming from NXT as of late, and they simply can't throw them on the B program on Thursday night that people won't watch. So basically, more money's coming in, they need a way to get SmackDown ratings up. Raw ratings on Monday do pretty well. SmackDown ratings on Thursdays weren't. So now they're moving it to Tuesday, so you get back-to-back days of big wrestling action in general. So the WWE had a draft a decade ago when they were overflowing with WCW and ECW stars.
I remember that.
But it proved to be a disaster because tag teams were broken up and fans had a hard time keeping up with different champions created between the two programs. Ultimately, the real talent always ended up on Raw because that's the flagship program, and SmackDown became second-rate once more. The bottom line is the WWE is trying the same experiment again, but hopefully using some of the lessons learned from the first time, and this will get fans to care about both Raw and SmackDown tuning in for each day specifically. Now to the draft, including #1 overall pick.
Who was it?
To Raw, Seth Rollins.
Rollins.
So round 1, Seth Rollins was taken first. He went to Raw, and so did the WWE Women's Champion, Charlotte, and Finn Balor from Raw from NXT. And then the second and fourth pick went to SmackDown, which include Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles. The bottom of those two, the 4 and 5, AJ Styles and Finn Balor, from what we've been reading up on, is they are young stars looking to make a big push to become superstars.
I wonder how John Cena felt about being a round 2 pick.
Well, what's interesting with Roman Reigns, John Cena, Brock Lesnar,
Randy Orton.
possibly, Jesus Christ. It's a possibility that they were second-round guys because Roman Reigns is drug suspension, steroid suspension. John Cena, possibly linked to MMA. Brock Lesnar already just fought in UFC 200. It's not as guaranteed of a show if you don't know that they're going to be there. Seth Rollins, we know, will be on Monday Night Raw. We know Dean Ambrose will be on SmackDown Live. And then in terms of like the round 3 picks, there's a lot of women in the top 20 showing the talent that there is right now. So they're also trying to really build up the women's side of WWE.
Chris Jericho coming in, #5.
I mean,
I was once petrified of the walls of Jericho.
Look, I've never been afraid to make an opinion about sports topics, and here's what I see from it. How the hell is the outside of John Cena, what does SmackDown have? And I could be so wrong about that, so please in the comment section let me know if I'm crazy. But go back to that card. Does it not already look like the best of the best are in Raw?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Finn Balor, even the women's champion. Like if you're gonna tell me that, look, just from a very neutral perspective, I think more people know who Seth Rollins is than Dean Ambrose. I think more people know who, save for John Cena on that list, everybody else in Raw, at least in the first 3 rounds, looks like they're more complete. Still.
Let's tackle it from like a sporting perspective as to what a draft is there to do. A draft, like you could easily just have a sheet of paper that comes out and be like, all right, Ben Simmons is going to the Sixers and Brandon Ingram's is going to the Lakers. Read it here, see you guys later. But the spectacle is to create more hype. Is to create that draw, is to get people interested in not just in what's going on at the Lakers, but what's going on at the Sixers and every other team. Using basketball as an example, I know it's not the same thing, but this, I imagine, is the same goal, is to be like, all right, I know you guys are usually attracted to Raw, but look at what's going to be going on at SmackDown. They might not have the biggest draw in terms of the athletes, but here, look, John Cena, who is undoubtedly one of the most well-known figures, not just in WWE, but in the world of sports at the moment.
Cena, that's why I'm saying the only thing SmackDown, he's the biggest superstar.
But that is a superstar that you could draw. That could draw in.
Maybe not in the wrestling sense, but in the fame sense.
No, I think it's safe to say in the wrestling sense. Yeah, he's going to have. The guy's been around for decades, when it seems, in the wrestling industry. But as you see from the SPs and everything else, John Cena has this aura about him. He has this draw into him that there's going to be external fans who might not just be your WWE fanboys in there who are going to come in to see John Cena perform in whatever means he performs in. But The idea of a draft, no matter whether you are going to be protected that the WWE draft is different from everything else, it's a business scheme. It is to boost ratings. It is to get more money in. And the idea of a draft is to create hype. There's a reason why it's the most... I still find it hilarious when I watch a draft because, of course, we don't have anything like that in the UK, but everything is so overhyped and people will buy into it because they love spectacles. They love this, the attention that it draws in, and they love the momentum that it creates, all because it's to get people interested. It's to get people intrigued into what is coming up soon. So as Josh says, it's a major play on trying to increase ratings from both SmackDown and Raw because everyone wants to, of course, get more eyes on the prize. Yeah,
the other thing I know is that the SmackDown Live commissioner is Show Me the Money, Shane McMahon.
Oh, it is?
Stephanie McMahon is the Raw commissioner, and Raw general manager is Mick Foley.
You can't beat
I mean, it's one of the OGs. Let's go to the last remaining, we're going to read off a couple of the names from the last remaining cards. Rusev, the U.S. champ, is also going to Raw. Kevin Owens, Raw. I'm looking at the guys that stand out to me. Dolph Ziggler is on SmackDown Live. That's a pretty big name.
Roberto Del Rio on
SmackDown. If I know the name, then it's a pretty big name even outside the WWE perspective. Sheamus, also Raw. All the guys I know are in Raw. So SmackDown people, I don't know what exactly we're looking forward to. And then guys like, by the way, what a great name, Jack Swagger. What a name.
He was named that at birth, and he just had to go to wrestling.
Oh, the Dudley Boys, too.
Dudley Boys, yeah, and Raw. So, I mean, overall, the draw in it for me is still that it's a way to try and create some hype around this. And by the way, credit again to go back to John Cena again, but I loved his take on the ESPYs and comparing how people will often rag on WWE because it's scripted and everything's going to fly out. When you think about the comparisons to sports, it's not that far off. And when he compared Vince McMahon to Roger Goodell.
He did a good job, but no one did better than Norm Macdonald back in 1998, which is when they had a lot of balls. And
1998? Were you like 4 back then? How do you remember it?
Reruns of it. It was like easily like one of the funniest monologues we've seen at any award show because he was so fearless.
I think everyone was fearless back then.
And now they're like, oh God, we got to censor Chris Rock saying stuff on like the Oscars. Oh no.
John Cena has to deliver under the table blows at Aisha Curry instead of just being like, she's the one that says it's all scripted, calling her out. He has to like kind of just kind of dance around it a little bit.
Look, the guy's a born performer.
Yeah.
That's what John Cena does. That's what a lot of these WWE stars do. They're performers. They're very, very good at it. And John Cena, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar,
and that's why
they command a microphone.
And when we did the clip, which I don't actually know the response, I don't know if people got mad, but we were talking about how are we going to see more athletes crossing over from both sides, WWE to UFC and UFC to WWE. And I said that when you combine, the perfect example is someone like a John Cena or a Brock Lesnar because they're taught to play themselves up to a different degree when it comes to WWE. They have to market themselves. They have to be so charismatic. And they're also athletic, so they have to carry that over to UFC where they can showcase that, hey, we may be playing all these characters in WWE, but when we're actually put into a real life situation where we have to use our ability and our athletic ability, we can handle ourselves, such as Brock Lesnar just did, whether or not it was with the assistance of steroids.
Yeah, about that. That's what they got to be careful of.
Let's just end on that note, because let's not get into that conversation again.
Nope. All right, comment below. Thanks to Josh, our WWE correspondent. Check out his clips on the channel. There's a WWE playlist where you can see most of those. Alrighty, what do you guys think of the WWE Draft? Is Raw in better shape than SmackDown, or is SmackDown in better shape than Raw? Which one are you going to be tuning into on Mondays or on Tuesdays? Like, favorite, subscribe to the video. It goes a long way.